Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, Fox Sports Radio, iHeartRadio, and FOS. One, yes, it was chilly last night eating outdoor with my wife and friends, but it was eating outdoors nonetheless. It's just a new world. It's a new world here.
Chicken parm?
Darn right. A little linguine and chicken parm and an espresso. Joy Taylor is joining me. I'll have my Super Bowl pick in 1 hour from now. We got great people on the show today. Carson Palmer, Malcolm Jenkins, Joe Thomas, and Joy, of course. So I'm gonna start the show, Joy, today with respect. Guys are funny about this. Maybe it's all that testosterone, but respect's a big deal for guys. I don't know if it is for women. Is it for women?
Oh, yes, very. Okay. At least for me.
All right. Well, you're very competitive.
Yes.
You're athletic and you're very professionally driven. Not to say you have some guy in you, but I'm saying is
no, respect is a big thing, though.
Yeah,
it's very important.
For guys, it's crazy. You can be rich, you can own the world, and then you still have this little chip on your shoulder from like 20 years ago because you didn't get drafted where you should be drafted. Respect never goes away. If you got disrespected by somebody, it doesn't matter how big your bank account is, what your trophy case looks like, it's with you forever. There was a moment in that documentary, Tom versus Time. Remember that? I mean, it wasn't the MJ doc, but it was pretty darn good. And the moment in the doc that stuck with me more than any singular moment was not about Tom Brady. It was about Giselle, his wife. She's in the car, and they're interviewing her, and Tom allowed this to make it into the documentary because Tom had final editing approval, right? And Giselle says, he just wants to feel like respected. He just wants to feel appreciated. That does not go away. This is about Belichick for Brady. Let's think about Monday. If Mahomes wins, it's about so many things. It's about him becoming a top 10 quarterback of all time. It's about him going MVP, Super Bowl in 3 years. It's the risky business for Tom Cruise moment for Mahomes. It's, Tom Cruise is great. Then he did risky business in the underwear, and it's like, he's an icon. Mahomes goes from great to all-timer, top 5. Elway, Marino, Montana, Brady, Manning, Mahomes. For Mahomes, this game is legacy-defining and brand-altering and discussion-changing. We'll never talk about quarterbacks the same. For Tom Brady, he wins. You know what we say Monday? He stuck it to Belichick. He really stuck it to Belichick. A Mahomes win does not discount anybody else's legacy. If Brady wins, even I'll think a little less of Bill. One team is playing for joy. One player is playing for revenge. When Giselle is allowed in that, and by the way, that's what you see. When the wife's saying that to the camera, what are the discussions like at home between Tom and Giselle? That was the filtered version without the blankety blank and blankety blank and blank that guy and blank this system. Mahomes is still trying to figure out where he's going to land in the big quarterback discussion. Tom's there. He's at the top. He's not going to go on top of the top goat. 25 years from now, Brady's 6 will still be discussed more than Brady's 1 in Tampa. This one, though, at the bar with your buddies will be the one where, man, God, he really stuck it to New England. To me, if Mahomes if he wins, it's about a lot of people winning. It elevates Andy Reid's legacy, the Hunt family. Roger Goodell has a new face of the league and a dynasty. It's about Mahomes. It's about Travis Kelce. It's about this proud city. The next dynasty is smack dab in the middle of America. There's a lot of winners. If the Buccaneers win, it's about Tommy getting over on Belichick. There are so many topics if the Chiefs win. It's a much easier show for me. I could talk about Andy Reid for segments and Mahomes for segments and a dynasties all time. If Brady wins, I can tell you what the first segment is. Brady here, Belichick under him, system, give me a break. One's playing for joy, one's playing for revenge. But when I think of all the images of Tom, and I don't think this means there's anything less. I remember Deflategate, we found text, he was talking about Peyton Manning. It's how we operate as guys. We hold grudges, high school. We have bad dreams, nightmares. We age more quickly. We die sooner. We hold this stuff in. We don't communicate like women. Women go to the bathroom together to talk. Guys go to the bathroom. We don't even look at each other. Women have a race for the cure. We don't have a race for the prostate. Just who we are. We hold grudges. We're pettier. It's that respect thing. And when Giselle said he just wants to feel appreciated, what were the discussions at home like? Don't kid yourself. Bill's not rooting for Tom, and Tom is looking to get over on Bill. And I'm here for all of it. All right, where I saw the Hunt family is a great NFL family. And he was talking about Mahomes has a little Jordan feel to him. And he was saying, it's amazing. Patrick had so much success early in his career. As great as Michael was, it took a few years before he won his first championship. He goes, Patrick is so far ahead of where we thought he would be. The difference, of course, is that not only was Michael Jordan great, but Rodman was the best rebounder in the game. Phil Jackson was the best coach in the game. Tony Kukoc was the best European in the game. Steve Kerr was the best shooter in the game. Scottie Pippen was the best Robin to a Batman in the game. It was easy to pick Michael Jordan. He was surrounded by so much. But let's think about this Kansas City team Sunday. Their defense, total defense, they're ranked 16th, right in the middle of the league. Their run game is ranked 16th, right in the middle of the league. Sacks, they're 19th. Offensive line this morning is the second best one in that game Sunday. If you are picking Kansas City, you're just picking the early Michael Jordan. You're picking Michael to just beat the Celtics, the Pistons, the Lakers. Tampa's got the better defensive line this morning. That's not arguable. Tampa's got the better offensive line this morning due to injuries. Tampa's got the better linebackers. Tampa's at home. Tampa currently has the better run game. They have the better pass rush. All of it, Tampa. Better roster, deeper roster. If you like Kansas City, then you are betting on Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. And, I get it. Because a year ago, San Francisco, in my opinion, had the better roster. And I liked Garoppolo, and I loved Shanahan. And they still couldn't win. Because Kansas City scored 21 points in 5 minutes and 5 seconds. The most complete roster doesn't win Super Bowls. In fact, let's look at this year. If you ask me the most complete roster in the NFL, I would say the New Orleans Saints. Hell, they've got a third quarterback I like a little bit. That's the best roster in the league. They've been gone for weeks. I actually think the second best roster in the NFL, even with Jared Goff, was the Rams. They'll just draft the best player available. They don't have an absolute need, especially now they have Stafford. They don't have something they have to draft. Their secondary's great. Their D-line's great. Their O-line ranked third PFF. Their receivers are amazing. Tight end and running back Cam Akers. Those teams are long gone. And the Buccaneers, in my opinion, probably have the third best roster in the National Football League. And it guarantees absolutely nothing. Now I can see them winning. It's called the 2007 Super Bowl, where the flashy Patriots, Randy Moss, Wes Welker, and all those points came in, and the New York Giants defensive line just wore down even Dante Scarnecchia's Patriot offensive line. They just wore them down. And in the end, Giants made a big play and upset those unbeaten Patriots. There's no question that's possible. In fact, the wise guys, the sharps in Vegas, jumped on Tampa plus 3.5. That's the game they mostly envision. The early bettors is that D-line just doing a Giants on the Patriots and controlling the Kansas City Chiefs. But boy, it is hard to bet against Reed and Mahomes and special. In almost half their drives in the playoffs, almost half, the Chiefs have scored a touchdown. That doesn't make any sense. It's incredibly difficult to bet against special. I remember when the Miami Heat were great, and you had Bosh and LeBron and Wade, and they had no size. They had no size. Like Joel Anthony was a center. He was 6'8". They weren't very good at point guard. Point guards always matter in the finals. They had a new kid coach, Spoelstra. Their bench was hit and miss. At times, they were too old. LeBron and Wade didn't even perfectly fit together. Bosch's game got marginalized. Hey, Chris, 25 a game? Go out in the perimeter and shoot jumpers. But it was special. They'd go through these 6, 7, 8-minute spurts, and you're like, yeah, this is special. That's Kansas City. Hard to bet against. I'll give my pick in 50 minutes. Really interesting article by Mike Silver, who sometimes I agree with, sometimes I don't, about the Brady effect, how Tampa went all in with a get-rich-quick scheme that paid off handsomely. Let's get Tom and let's get stars. And will it change the league? Interesting to think about that from at least one angle. That's coming up. Ever wonder how far an extra mile really goes? Well, drive a Mercedes-Benz van and find out. The first step, of course,